Sentences are punctuated correctly. What punctuation mark, real class, what punctuation mark do we avoid using? Fake class. Exclamation point. No exclamation points. But you get bonus cool points if you use what? What is the smartest looking punctuation that you know how to use?
Period.
No.
Comma.
Semicolon.
Oh, go Kai.
Semicolon. Bonus cool points if you use a semicolon. Okay? Words are spelled correctly. What tool do you have to help you spell words correctly on the SOL?
Spell check.
You have a spell checker, right? Who's smarter, you or the spell checker?
Us.
You are. Remember, the spell checker won't tell you if you're using the right there or there. The spell checker won't tell you if you skip a word. So even though you want to use it, remember, you're smarter than the spell checker. And last but not least, paragraphs are clearly indicated. How do you always indicate a paragraph?
Indent.
Indent. And how do we indent on the SOL?
The button.
Use the button.
It has a button on it.
That doesn't work.
You can't use tab. It just will take you out of the text box. And you don't want to use like spaces because you want it to always be consistent. So you always want to use, just on the rating SOL, the indent button. That's what Gertrude's looking for. We like to make Gertrude happy. All right, and then at the end, it's going to say, I checked my paper. So you read, you brainstormed, you planned, you drafted, you took a little break, you relaxed. Oh, that was taking a break. I was repeating myself. You revised your paper, you edited your paper, you feel like it's great, but now you are absolutely going to read it one more time, very slowly. You can't read your paper out loud because that would be disruptive and cheating. But you can, like, mouth the words to yourself. And if you do that, that'll help you catch it if you skipped a word and your brain was filling it in before. So read it nice and slowly. Make sure you didn't make any careless mistakes. Make sure that this thing is as perfect as you can be. But now, the 2 hours are up on your rating SOL, and you're in good shape. All right. You're going to need to pause the video in a second. Not you, Jay, of course, but Mr. or Mrs. Substitute Teacher. You're going to need to pause the video because we're going to pass out some more papers. So the next papers we're going to pass out are page 47 or 46 of your notes, which is the revision paper. I'm going to take you through a little PowerPoint. Oh, hello. I'm going to take you through a little PowerPoint. And if it's easier, you can just watch the PowerPoint on the screen and let the video play in the background, and that way you'll get a better picture of it. But we're going to record the PowerPoint anyway. So we're passing out the revision paper. We're also passing out your snow day homework. If you did your snow day homework, we're going to revise that paper right now. We're going to make sure it's the best it can be. So we're going to have some practice revising. If you didn't do that homework, or you gave me a homework pass or whatever, you're going to get a different paper. It's the practice paper. Now, my fake class here, you guys have that in front of you. That paper starts, what's the first couple words in it?
What do you think the driving age should be?
Okay, so you're going to get this thing about the driving age. That's what it looks like. And we're going to practice revising that paper if you don't have your own paper in front of you, just so we have the practice doing it. Okay, so here comes the PowerPoint. Make sure you're ready to take notes, and there we go. Revision strategies. It should be pretty obvious to you what you fill in. Fake class, I need you guys to tell me if I'm going too fast or whatever, okay? Woo, look at that pretty effect. How can we make our writing stronger and more polished? So take a look at that note paper. And already it says the point of revision is to make writing blank and more blank. What are you going to fill in there?
I know.
Stronger and more
polished. Polished means clean, smooth, easy to read, nice and shiny, right? So we're going to make our writing stronger and more polished. Got that? Cool. We want our language to be, what are we aiming for here? We want language that is clean, clear, and direct. We don't want to waste extra words. Some people think if they just throw in a bunch of crazy words into their paper, like a million adverbs, that it will help their paper. That's not always true. I'm not saying you shouldn't use adverbs. I'm saying that you want there to be a purpose for everything that you write. Okay, you ready for the quick fixes? Number 1. Oh, sorry. Just to be clear, the language used should be appropriate to the narrator, you, but it should also be appropriate to whom? The reader. Who's the reader? Gertrude. Okay. Quick fix number 1. Just fill in that first line right now. Quick fix number 1, redundant words or phrases. Just fill in that first line. We talked about this a minute ago. We said you don't want to use he 5 times in 3 sentences, or I, or my school. We just talked about that a second ago. You do want to make sure that you have varied sentences. So a quick way to fix this up is to change the order of your sentences. So what I want you to write on that first line, rather than he 5 times in 3 sentences, I'm coming in, I want you to write, for this one, the first bullet point is, oh dear, that's not what we want to have happen. Let's see if we can fix that up. Come on, little smartboard pen. Is that right? It's not writing for us. Okay, guess what we're going to do? We're going to write down what it says because technology is eluding me today. Go ahead and copy all of that into your notes, and I'll give you a minute to do that.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that you are going to switch up the order of sentences and whatnot, but just skip it. We'll talk about, these are some bad examples, right? What's wrong with the example with his own 2 eyes? Why is that redundant, with his own 2 eyes? Fake class, any ideas?
Because his is like already his eyes, so why would you put the O?
Exactly. The word own is unnecessary. You could say with his eyes. But probably you're saying he
2
saw
eyes.
it with his own 2 eyes, and all of a sudden wondering why you're asking to use that phrase at all. Didn't you just say he saw it? So that's a little redundant. What's redundant about sneaky and suspicious?
They're both the same.
Yeah, they mean the same thing, right? Sneaky and suspicious is the same thing.
Synonym.
Synonyms. Right, good. Synonyms. That's a good tongue twister. Do you guys have that? Okay. If you don't, you can pause me. Quick fix number 2. Go ahead and copy all of this. We've got unnecessary words, especially adverbs. Like I said, adverbs aren't your enemy, but sometimes they're not necessary. He tiptoed quietly. Well, how else are you going to tiptoe? You're going to tiptoe like this? Guess what? You're not tiptoeing anymore. What could I say rather than he couldn't really believe it? What word can I get rid of there?
Really?
Yeah, just say he couldn't believe it. What could I say instead of he thought wonderingly?
He thought?
Yeah, he thought. Yeah, get rid of wonderingly. Exactly. I could just say he thought. I'll give you guys fake class a chance to catch that later. I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
If real class needed to pause me, that's cool too. Quick fix number 3. Sentences that are all the same in length or structure is what you want to avoid. So for instance, let's write the correct form for this one. Instead of saying, he saw the cat was brown, it was small. All of those are what kind of sentence?
Simple.
Simple, yeah. What could I say that would be one better sentence than he saw the cat was brown, it was small?
You saw the cat, it was small and brown.
Okay, so I could combine those 2 sentences. It was small and brown. Could I make it all one sentence?
Yeah.
How? What could I say, Brandon?
He saw the cat, it was brown. Wait, he saw the cat, and the cat was brown.